It's been well established that phthalates, the chemicals in plastics that make plastics pliable, can have toxic effects on the male reproductive system. And so we felt it was necessary not simply to study those chemicals, their mechanism of action, but since they're likely to be banned, and they have already been banned in some countries, that we should focus on developing new chemicals that are going to be friendly to the environment and have minimal toxic effects. Team grants from CIHR are particularly useful for bringing diverse groups of individuals together to look at a question that had not been examined before. And I think this is exactly what we're doing with this Team Grant.
I'm Jeff Misker. I'm a professor of obstetrics and gynecology. My particular group of graduate students is looking at knowledge translation from what we know in basic science, clinical science, to what pregnant women and clinicians feel they ought to know. Our research has indicated that they're learning about green plasticizers from Glamour magazine and other sources that are reasonably scary. Rather than take as much risk, it's more of present pregnant women with as much knowledge as we have in order that they can determine what they want to consume during pregnancies, especially when embryogenesis and organs are being developed. If we're worried about plasticizers in rubber duckies, why shouldn't we be worried about plasticizers in cosmetics and water bottles and tuna can liners that pregnant women are exposed to?
I'm Milan Maric. I'm in the Department of Chemical Engineering at McGill University, and I specialize in polymer engineering and science. I think it's important to develop green plasticizers as alternative to phthalates, which have been recently banned in many jurisdictions, and it's important that we come up with alternative plasticizers that will work just as well as phthalates without all the negative impacts that they can possibly have. So my role as the polymer scientist is to ensure that the plasticizers are compounded into the polymer and perform just like a regular phthalate or other conventional plasticizer would. So I test all the mechanical properties, and I also do some of the synthesis to try and make these structures that are useful for biodegradation as well. I think the major outcome of the project will be some sort of candidate plasticizers that will work well in terms of being easily biodegradable into non-toxic metabolites and work just as well as conventional plasticizers. That would be the ultimate goal, and I think we have a good chance of getting close to it.
My name is Vasilis Papadopoulos. I'm from McGill University Health Center, Department of Medicine. Our work over the years on the in vitro studies and the utero exposures to phthalates, which is the plasticizer widely used. Our expertise goes specifically on the endocrine system and the effects of plasticizers on Leydig cells of the testis, which is the cells that make testosterone that feeds the entire body. We hope first to identify a class at least of plasticizers that, as I said earlier, learned in terms of the male reproductive system and ideally the whole endocrine system, not only in vitro but in vivo and in animal models. And second, based on this family, maybe further improve it to the compound that will make it to actually the real in the industry to replace the existing phthalate compounds.
My name is Peter Chen. I'm a urologist, and so I take care of different issues in men's health. This is a big multidisciplinary research project, and my job is in one side of it, looking at the clinical effect of different kind of plasticizer on the male reproduction. I think, you know, plastic in general, it surely has revolutionized our daily life in many different ways. now that we know that during the course of production, there was a lot of chemicals that is involved that is not good for a human. So I think it's important for us to look at what can be done better, just so we can protect the whole planet. And not only that, there's a lot of issues that can affect people, especially young people. And in this case, we're looking at the male reproduction. So I think it's important for us to learn about how we can do things better just to keep the planet healthy, and more important,